Hello, 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 and welcome to a new episode of the Multi Passionate Edge. I am your host, Cheryl Pollins, and this is our weekly live stream, really dedicated to those multi passionistas, those multi passionistas, those iconic women that are out there doing it and doing it and doing it in multiple areas because it really is what lights them up. All right, so here we are, and let me pull up the comments. And I always like to start with what? The lipstick, the lipstick. So today, what am I wearing? And I don't think I've shared this one before, but I am wearing another MAC, and this is a liquid matte lipstick. And I love the liquid mattes because they go on very smooth, and they dry, and they don't, most times they don't leave a mark and all that on your, they don't transfer, they don't come off, they kind of stay put. And this one is called Feels So Grand. Who's feeling grand today? I am, because I'm wearing this, but you can too. So that's what I'm wearing today. Feels So Grand Liquid Matte by MAC. And also, I want to give an honorable mention. What's an honorable mention when it comes to lipstick? Well, an honorable mention is a Tom Ford lipstick. It's a Tom Ford lipstick, and it's very satiny. It has a frosty, kind of like a frosty finish. It's more pink. It's more pink. And I use it sometimes as a mixer because I don't like it by itself, because this lipstick always gets on my teeth. I'm like, seriously, Mr. Ford, let's handle that. Let's handle the fact that your lipstick gets on my teeth all the time. So I just use this as a mixer. So that's my honorable mention for today. Tom Ford, and the color is number 24, and it's called John. All right, so I want to jump in. Welcome if you're watching live. Welcome if you're watching the replay. Thank you so much for joining me here in the at the Multi Passionate Edge live stream. So what are we talking about today? I'm going to go a little deep today. I'm going to go a little deep, but it's imperative. And the reason it's imperative is because what I'm going to talk about today is incessant. It is an incessant thing that it creeps in and literally sabotages and robs you of the very things that you say that you want. It really does. And what is that? That is your beliefs. Oh, baby. I can sit here all day and some to talk about this, but we're going to talk a little bit about 3 beliefs that you should recalibrate. 3 beliefs that you should recalibrate. I was trying to see if I had a sticky. All right, I don't have a sticky. So I'm going to do this. Well, never mind. Here we go. I just needed to do something real quick. Okay. 3 beliefs that we're going to talk about. You should I'm making a lot of noise and a lot of ruckus, right? That you should recalibrate. And the 3 that we're going to talk about is your core belief system, your core belief, your self-perception belief, and the granddaddy of them all, your money belief. Because, baby, your money belief, woo, child, needs some work. So let's talk about this. What could be one of your core limiting beliefs? And I believe that when I say core limiting belief, I mean, this really is probably belief that everything else stems from, that everything else permeates from. And it's something that you have to discover, because everyone doesn't have the same core limiting belief. But there are probably a few that are most common. And of course, one of the most common ones that a lot of women in particular, multi-passionate women, women in leadership, women entrepreneurs, all the women people is this belief that you're not enough. Now, I know it feels cliche. People talk about it all the time, but I'm telling you, it's a thing. It's a real thing that sits at the very core of our inability to show up, to be, to do, right? To serve at the level that we've been called to. Because we don't believe we're enough. We don't believe we're worthy. We don't believe, like, why would they pick me? Why me? The fact that you're even asking why you sends a red flag. And the red flag is the flag on the play is you believe that you're not enough. All right. So how do you recalibrate this? Through self-reflection and introspection. You have to ask yourself the questions. Why am I thinking this? Why am I thinking this thought? Why am I asking the question of why are they choosing me? Oh my God, I can't believe they chose me. Don't tell me you haven't had that thought or said that out your mouth, because you have. Raise your hand if you have, right? Raise your hand if you said, oh my gosh, I can't believe. Because out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Don't let me go Bible on you, right? Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So when you say, oh, I can't believe that someone would choose me, you are speaking a truth that is a lie. we gonna we're gonna have to talk about that another day. Okay. So you're gonna have to ask yourself, why am I reacting this way? Why am I thinking this way? Why do I avoid challenges and opportunities? Because at your core, your belief could be that you don't think you're enough, that you don't think you deserve it, that you don't think you're worthy, that because of your past, because of the things that you've gone through, you don't want people to find out. We know this shows up as what? Imposter syndrome. That's that's a whole topic by itself. All right. So, core limiting belief. Recalibrate your core limiting belief. All right. Number two. Number two. Oh, let me give you this one thing. So I told you the problem. Now let me show you how to deal with it, how to confront it. And how you confront it is you have to replace those beliefs, that core limiting belief, with new thoughts. Right? You have to replace it with a new belief. And you can start doing that by doing affirmations. I like to call them declarations because, honey, I declare. I declare. To me, declaration is such a stronger word, but that's me personally. So you can do affirmation, declaration, whatever you want to call it, but you can create declarations or affirmations that you say out of your mouth until it gets into your being and it becomes a belief. That it's not just, oh, I'm going to say these little things. No, it's not magic. No, it really is a rewiring of your own thoughts, of your brain, of what's happening up here, right? And then it goes from here and it drops in here. Okay? So here's one you can say. You can say, I am capable of learning and growing from every experience. I am capable of learning and growing from every experience. I am capable of learning and growing from every experience. You can start right there. All right. The second belief that you need to recalibrate is your self-perception. Honey, woo, self-perception is a doozy. Because if your core belief about who you are is that you are not enough, we already know that your self perception is way off. Because the truth is, you don't see yourself even how God sees you. Hello, somebody. You don't even see yourself the way God sees you. So what do you have to do? What do you have to do? How do you recalibrate your own perception of who you are? The thoughts around who you are, the feelings about who you are, your attitude about who you are, your identity, your abilities, your self-worth, your self-value. How does this show up as a multi-passionate woman? Well, it definitely shows up in the money arena, which we're going to talk about in a few minutes. It definitely shows up there. It shows up with how you show up or not, right? And when you string these together, this core belief that you're not enough, it impacts your self-perception. And then your self-perception impacts your belief around money as well. We're going to get to that one, right? So how do you replace these thoughts and ideals about your self-perception and who you are? Well, you got to do the work. Listen, and this is ongoing work. This is not a hit it, quit it once and done. This idea of recalibrating your self-perception is work that you have to do. It's ongoing work because the stuff that goes on up here, honey, right? It's a destroyer of dreams. But you have to get in front of it and you have to be intentional, and you can use your mouth. You can use your words, verbal and written, in order to do that. So what do? You do some rediscovery, right, of your identity. Sit with yourself. Go spend time with yourself. You don't have to have your crew with you. You don't have to have a bunch of people with you. Go take a day and spend the day out by yourself doing something that you love to do, but you haven't done it in a long time. This is how you begin to work on yourself, right? Because you've succumbed to everyone else's whims and ideals of who you are, right? But you need to recalibrate that for yourself. So you need to again do some declarations, do some affirmations, because that's going to help you to rewire. It's going to help you reframe, rewire, and reinforce. Reframe, rewire, reinforce. So here's an affirmation for you, or a declaration. I wholeheartedly, write this down. I wholeheartedly believe in myself and my limitless potential. I have the power to overcome obstacles and achieve my goals with confidence and determination. Hello, somebody. I wholeheartedly, I want you to say it like you mean it. I want you to say it from your chest, like Kevin Hart says, right? I wholeheartedly believe in myself and my limitless potential. I have the power to overcome obstacles and achieve my goals with confidence and determination. I promise you, you say that out loud with your chest and a whole vibe, it will shift you in ways you never imagined. Never imagined. All right. Last one. Last one. All right. Last one. You got to recalibrate those money beliefs. Ugh, child, you got to recalibrate those money beliefs. Why? Because I promise you, you probably heard this. Money don't grow on trees. Ain't nobody got a tree, a money tree in the backyard. Right? I can't charge that much for my services. Says who? Says who? Oh, and here's the one. No one, nobody is going to pay me that much. I'm telling you, you are doing yourself a severe disservice if you operate from any of these beliefs when it comes to money. Because for sure, 100%, they're all lies. They're all lies. Okay, money not growing on a tree, that might not be that might not be a lie in the physical sense. Okay. But not being able to charge a certain amount of money, the idea that nobody is going to pay you for the value that you bring, and when you put a price tag on that value. So I have to tell you this. I have to tell you this story because I just started watching this guy. I don't know his name. I don't know anything. I just ran across this video somewhere, and he deconstructs designer bags. Like, I'm talking Louis Vuitton, Chanel, Prada. He deconstructs these bags. He goes and he buys them. He tells you how much he spent. Then he deconstructs the bag. He's a leather tanner. And the first video I saw was of him deconstructing a Louis Vuitton bag. I don't remember what bag it was, but it was Louis Vuitton. I think he said he paid $2,700. I think I could be like way off with that number. I just don't remember. But he deconstructs the bag, $2,700. A Louis Vuitton purse is not going to cost $2,700. So I'll take that back. No way. So he deconstructs the bag, but in his deconstruction process, he shows you how the bag was not assembled. It wasn't finished off properly. It had loose threads, but to the naked eye, with a regular person, they're probably not going to notice all that because they're probably not going to get into all the nooks and crannies of what the bag kind of looks like. But he's like, see here, this isn't finished. And he shows all these different things. And then he shows you, I think he like takes off the top layer because, Louis Vuitton, a lot of the designer bags have a process that protects the leather. So it already starts with a certain type of leather, and they put some type of plastic, really literally protection on it to protect it. It's very common actually in the luxury handbag space. So he takes some kind of solution and he literally, kind of scrapes off the plastic, exposes the actual leather. And he talks about this bag and, just the leather. And he's really teaching you. But of course, me, I'm looking at it from a different perspective, and the perspective of, if you're saying that it only costs this amount of money, which was less than $200 to make the bag, why are they selling the bag for that amount? Right? Why are they selling the bag for 400 times, however many times, I don't even know, right? Louis Vuitton bag typically is going to cost, a regular bag is going to cost probably $5,000, $4,000, right? How is it that it only costs this to manufacture, but they put that price tag on it? Because what's the gap? What's in the gap? How'd they get there? Their value. For Louis Vuitton, it's the value of the brand. Why? Because people are going to pay it because it's Louis Vuitton. And when you get that in your spirit, when you get in your spirit the value of your brand and what you're bringing to the marketplace, and you deal with these beliefs that I'm talking about, you will literally be unstoppable. Literally. Because these beliefs, all these beliefs, this is where you're living from. These beliefs are where you're operating from. These are literally operating beliefs that you function from, and your actions correlate to those beliefs. So if you have a core limiting belief that you're not enough, your actions express that. If you have if you have your self perception about who you are, is jacked up because you don't believe you're enough, you're living from that place. If your money beliefs are that you can't charge that amount of money and nobody will ever pay you that amount of money, you're living from that. So that means you're pricing your products and services in such an inferior way that people really don't want them anyway because they think they're cheap. You got to get it together. You got to get it together. You have dreams, goals, aspirations, desires, places you want to go, people you want to see, things you want to do in the world, people you want to help, people you want to be of service to in a financial way, and you'll never be able to do it as long as you are living from these beliefs. So you got to recalibrate them. And how do you do that? And we basically just talked about that. How do you recalibrate them? You do it because you reframe, rewire, and replace. I think that was the third R. Let me make sure. Oh, reinforce. You reframe, you rewire, and you reinforce. That's the process. Reframe, rewire, and then you reinforce. That's how you recalibrate your beliefs. So, all right. So, how do you shift in terms of the money piece? And then we'll be done. How do you shift in terms of the money piece? How do you replace those money beliefs that you have that nobody will ever pay you and all the things that you are believing that are a lie, right? How are you going to replace them? And I'm going to give you 3 things that you can do to replace them, right? Gratitude, start there. Be grateful for where you are in this moment in time, because gratitude allows you to expand. It just does. It opens you up and sets you up for the miraculous to happen, right? 2, create an abundance mindset practice. Create an abundance mindset practice. I'm not going to get into the details of it, but we will in the Iconic Brand Accelerator that's happening in September. We will, because there's a whole section on belief there that I'll be teaching live and in living color. Okay. So make sure you go to iconicwomanclub.com, hop on become a member of the community, because that's where my community resides now via email. Hop into the community and you'll be one of the first to know when enrollment opens. Okay. But you need to create an abundance mindset practice. And then the third thing you want to do, and we're still talking about these money beliefs, put yourself in elevated experiences. Put yourself in elevated experiences. Go to a museum. It's amazing what a museum will do to you. It opens up your eyes to the possibilities. I was talking to someone the other day about the Mona Lisa and what makes it the Mona Lisa. And we were cracking up because we were like, girl, we don't know. It's the Mona Lisa. It's in the Louvre in Paris, all the way at the end in a room all by itself. Why? I don't know. Right? Put yourself in elevated experiences. Go to a museum. Find museums to go to. Right? Have lunch at a high-end hotel. Matter of fact, go in there, sit down, have a cup of tea and something. Just put yourself in the experience, and don't use money as an excuse not to. Because I'm sitting here, I'm removing the barrier. Because once you start to put yourself in those experiences, you now expand yourself. You open yourself up to the possibilities when it comes to money and your thoughts around money. You start to shift that. Third thing, be intentional. This is so good. And we're going to talk about this in the Iconic Brand Accelerator as well, because I believe in the power of it. Be intentional about feminine moments in your life. Yeah. I got a whole section I'm going to talk about that, because feminine moments are powerful. and they shift you. They shift you. Because as a multi-passionate woman, a business owner, an entrepreneur, a woman in corporate, any of those things, you function heavily in the masculine, I'm sure. But when you get intentional about dropping yourself into or shifting yourself into the feminine, whew, things happen, things shift. I can't wait to talk about that in the Iconic Brand Accelerator. So those three things: go to a museum, put it on your calendar, find a museum to go to, that because it's also going to spark your creativity as well. Okay. Have lunch, tea, coffee, something at a high end. Don't go to Starbucks. Replace Starbucks, with a trip to, a 4-star, 5-star hotel. Go sit in the restaurant, ask for a cup of tea and whatever, or have lunch or dinner wherever you are, right? And then be intentional about feminine moments in your life. That's what I have for you today. Whoo, that was a lot. I know I packed it in, but I believe heavily in our beliefs and how they really affect us, how they impact us, and how they really prevent us from living the life we truly desire. They prevent us from walking fully in our potential. So don't forget, talking about recalibrate. I don't know when I'm going to stop talking about it. As long as I have something to recalibrate, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. So go to iconicwomanclub.com. Be sure that you are part of the community there. Enrollment opens for the Iconic Brand Accelerator on August the 1st. And but in the meantime, when you go there, you'll receive access to my brand new private podcast that is exclusively for members of the Iconic Woman Club community. Yay! And you will also receive the digital newsletter, members only gifts, and you'll get first access to any upcoming offers. Go to iconicwomanclub.com. It's the place to be for the multi-passionate woman. All right. So thank you. As always, it's a pleasure to come and to hang out with you for a little bit here on our live stream. We're streaming to my Facebook personal page, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And that's how we're going to keep the party going. And I look forward to seeing you next time.